Okay, Kent, introduce.
Willie, we're gonna go jump into it. So, Ryan, welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you.
Special guest here today, and we'll do a little bit of an introduction for him before we call him on. So, this person has won the African Continental Championship in 2017, second in the time trial in 2013, if I'm not mistaken, podium finisher at SA Champs Road and time trial, multiple occasions. They've done the La Volta twice in 2019 and 2020 with Katusha and then Burgos. They've done Il Lombardia in 2018. They've won the Ride Joburg way back when. But one thing this person has never done...
When it was still competitive.
Just interrupt, of course, just interrupt.
One thing this person has never done, which makes them slightly less than... while they're not on the same couch as us, is they've never won the Cape Town Cycle Tour.
The biggest and most prestigious race, in the world. So, welcome, Willie Smit. Any comments about that? When are you going to come and win the Cape Town Cycle Tour and join us on this couch?
Well, my bosses are pushing for retirement. Obviously, I'm way overpaid as a rider, so I can understand their point of view. So, no, I think maybe... If retirements are on the card for next year, I'll make maybe... I was thinking about making nationals like a victory loop, when I'll pitch up in George, take the crown, end the career there. But now that you've mentioned Cape Argus being such a big deal, I think it's maybe a good place to end it. Yeah, I mean it's on a serious note, with market value, there's also high expectations. So it's all good and well if you paid well, but the expectations are high. And then I think something that's interesting that I've been speaking about with a lot of the agents, coaches, and even directors is that, I mean, I know some of the people that are in the... I don't want to insult anyone, but there's about 3 guys in the top 10 of Volta Portugal, and between the 3 of them, they are on a salary lower than 2,000 euros per month on that level. So imagine you riding 6.2 watts a kilo in 45-degree temperatures at the end of a 5,000 meter stage. Your salary is the same as my waiters in the shop, for on that level.
Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. And then also, I think it's unfortunately it's been this trend where young riders are willing to come on for free. They're like, I'll do anything for the opportunity. I'll show you. I'll come for free. But when I do well, then you'll pay me well.
But it ruins it for everyone. It ruins it for the older guys. It ruins it for the people who have, a family to feed and.
Yeah, and essentially you've got this ethical question, is it then worth... Because as you get older, you look back and you realize you do more and more things because of money, actually. I know people say, no, it's passion. No, it's for money at the end of the day. Because you have to make a living. You can't put a roof over your head without money. You can't feed your family or look after a friend or whoever that may be without money. So passion can only take you that far, and then reality hits you.
No, passion keeps me warm at night, and I love eating passion for dinner every single night, and watering the flower beds with passion. Passion takes you a long way.
Sounds like a stripper's name.
I mean, so like let's say the youngster comes in for free or at 500 euros per month. And then he starts winning. They're like, oh, we're going to double your salary. Okay, you start winning it. Now it's 1,000 euros per month. What then?
Yeah.
Because that's what they pay you for winning. And unfortunately, someone that's really good comes into the market and accepts a really low salary. Let's say for example, in the Asian market, they accept, because I know some really, really good guys that are winning, and then they accept, let's say, 3,500 euros per month. That sets the benchmark in that team. But eventually people find out about those contracts, and they're like, oh, well, that guy's getting paid 3.5 and you're asking for 5, or are you crazy? That guy's already won 10 races. So I'm sorry, if you just follow pure logic, then we should pay you 2,000 because you're not winning as much as that guy. And then market value just slowly goes down, down, and down. I've never seen it. Once the good riders accept low salaries, I've never ever seen it gone up. Yeah. And then what is shocking is what's happening. Like when you look at Volta Portugal, you have 3 riders in there on a salary of €1,000 per month in the top 10.
But those guys are the guys who are only racing in Portugal, right? It's also a bit controversial over the whole, what's the word? The cleanliness.
Yeah, well, without getting sued, I think if you use simple deduction and look at, unfortunately, I'm going to say it, I can't help myself, but if you look at it looked clean, but what people also don't realize is when there was those 2 big busts in Portugal, they weren't caught or tested positive. They were caught by a police investigation. So they simply listened into phone calls, confiscated their phones, saw the messages, and caught them that way. And what I presumed happened is now in Portugal, it's a criminal offence. If you, as I believe, if you test positive, so they can give you a jail sentence, and then they say like, okay, admit what you did, give up your supplier, and then take the 4-year ban. Then we'll just leave it there. But then one of those guys came back now. He's 4-year in retirement, flying.
Again, I saw he was wasn't he on the podium?
Was he well rested though?
Jose Nieves. And that makes it so. I mean, with all due respect, maybe it's clean, but yeah, for me, it's very controversial.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
It's a tricky one always, because there's always like well, not always, but a lot of other European teams will go there to race and they won't feature, and they'll finish 20th versus So it's always a tricky one.
Yeah, I don't want to comment because I don't want to get beyond cycling news, for some controversy, as Willie is.
If you just go on Twitter, everyone obviously makes the same assumption. It's not us being controversial and 1 out of a million people making a controversial statement. You just go on Twitter and everyone's saying the same thing. Of course, that doesn't make anyone automatically guilty, but they still, after what happened at this edition, when everyone thought cycling it's on the up now, there are still some questionable things there, because ultimately these doping things are cultural problems that needs to be solved, and it takes generations after generations to fix. But I have to say the World Tour seems pretty clean.
I've got another question. Sorry, while we're speaking on controversy, Willie, your issue that came out the other day with your glasses, Oakley Meta glasses. What is the whole deal there? What is your take on that? And maybe you can just explain to us, because I didn't really see the whole picture.
So okay, of course there'll be those people that say, yeah, you should have read the rules. It's black and white. It's clear. I mean, and I respect that. But like when you sign your cycling contract, have you gone through all the fine print in that cycling contract?
I didn't read any of it. I just saw where the numbers were, and then I put my bank details, and then I signed it.
But you guys are getting paid.
Exactly. So where this got a little bit strange is that especially in the, it's in Europe, why people don't do it is because the first thing the director is going to say, you're not focused on cycling. It's like when the first time when we opened our cafe here in Andorra, the first thing I had to listen to is, I'm not focused on cycling. So it's the European criteria for professionalism is very high. If you have any distractions, DSs don't like it, and they like to point it out. So, I would have never, even you're in a World Tour team, imagine you putting a camera on your bike, or, I don't know, doing stuff while racing. Training camps or stuff are a little bit different, but it's going to be frowned upon.
But you even get nailed at Katusha, for like starting your vlogs, and you had the GoPro out in training and like in massage on the table. Like, I know a lot of people liked it, but yeah.
I had to find a fine line of what I'm able to film in that, and also like when you flog like that, you also, I still have a lot of stuff from road cover as well, the good memories. But I mean, all the time someone saying something bad in the background. So imagine you post something without listening clearly, or you film something accidentally. I don't know, your GoPro gets stolen. Your GoPro gets stolen and someone posts it. So I take it pretty serious. I haven't made a mistake yet.
But you've kind of done very well with the whole looking out for your own name aside from cycling, which I think is another good point. Like obviously you raced with a lot of teams, World Tour, Conti, development teams, local teams, now Asian team, and at the same time you've built a life overseas. You've got a cafe in Andorra. Can tell us a bit about that, and then you've also got your YouTube following, which is significant, and people obviously enjoy what you got to do. So I think that's quite a nice addition to cycling. What do you think about that?
Yeah, look, I still believe a lot of it was pure luck and chance how it turned out. Moving to... Oh, well, let me first just quickly finish the topic of the glasses. So I was in a Livigno training camp with a teammate of mine, Alexander Konishev. He's actually doing... I don't know if you met him. He was in Data. I don't know if he was there with you.
He was in the development team when I was there. And I mean, his dad was a very famous, well-known Russian cyclist. I mean, he's Italian, I think. But yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah, I know his dad broke my balls all the time in Katusha. Fucking hell, he hated me, his dad. Like, because that's pure Russian, and I'm like, we are South African, we're easygoing, and we're like all over the place, and the Russian system is just one road.
Yes.
Yeah, no, but then I saw his son do really well, because he was with Data as a stagiaire, then he went to Orica, then he lost his contract there. Then he went to some smaller Conti teams like Vorarlberg, which is one of the highest. It's a really high-level calendar they race, and he was doing well. And I thought, well, once a rider goes from World Tour to Conti and still performs well, it means they love cycling. And then it's a safe signing. But a lot of guys, if you just sign them into the Asian market because they were World Tour, it's a big gamble because they just do it for the money, most of them. So this was the easy signing anyway. We were in Livigno training camp, and of course I feel really uncomfortable over the years having to film with... I always film most of the vlogs like with handheld footage. It looks better and you get different angles, but it is quite dangerous on the bike. I mean, every time you have to hold on with one hand. So I pray that day doesn't come, when you hit something and you crash. So I just thought,
it did come for you, but it didn't.
Yeah, no. So then got the glasses, paid for it. It's not sponsorship, paid for itself. And I thought, okay, it's just for safety reasons. It's much safer than having to fucking hold the GoPro in your hand every time you vlog, because it's just playing with fire. And it was pretty cool, but it also only shoots vertical. You can't actually do your YouTube videos on it. Oh. It's only vertical. But you can use a voice control on it. So you're like, hey, Meta, start recording, or you can just click the button. Either way, it doesn't. But once again, and I'll say why this is relevant, because that's part of what the UCI defines it as why they ban it, is because of AI capabilities. But then, anyway, so in Livigno, tested it. It was all good. I saw all the other Asian teams use it from the start of the year. So we were all like, okay, it's legal. It's absolutely no problem. Even a lot of them have this DJI Nanos that they put you on the shirt. And then somewhere after May, or in May, it was banned somewhere. And it's not in the official rules. It's in an annex. So if you read the UCI rules, you're not going to see it. It's in a supplementary annex of that. But anyway, I would have been banned anyway, because I wouldn't have read the rules, because I went on the presumption, and all of the team, like, well, everyone's using it. Okay, it's probably fine.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunately how it unfolded. Yeah, and funny enough, there was a couple of other people in the race as well, but just because they haven't posted the footage at that moment, they weren't disqualified.
You were the fall guy, you were the scapegoat, and everyone knows Willie Smit is not a stranger to...
It was just a general flog. I didn't even put the section of the whole crash happening. I cut it short just to respect people. And that was it.
Then, so how did you get? So you only had vertical footage. You didn't have the horizontal footage. Why didn't you just put your head like this, or tilt the glasses, and then you get the horizontal?
So I cut it off there. I didn't want to show the rest. But it is strange because it's actually banned on, because you see in the Tour de France you are allowed. So a technicality they try to justify themselves with is saying it's on body. Okay, so you're allowed to have a camera on bike, but not on body.
Okay. But even in those races, what people don't realize, that's not their rider's personal camera. That's like a camera from Velon or from the organizers or whatever.
Yes.
And you don't even have access to that footage.
Though, I mean, in those, there's many clips of, in this year's Tour de France, the riders click it off of the bike and record each other playing around.
Yeah, you're right.
That's. But anyway, I respect the rule, but the technicality which they're trying to ban it on, obviously, is saying, okay, one on body, which doesn't really make sense, because I've had GoPros break off of people's bikes in front of me in the bunch and go into people's spokes. So I don't know really. Yeah. You can't. And so I can't see the safety issue with the glasses. And then secondly, if they say, okay, it's got AI capabilities, this is their go-to line. Okay, so when you have the race radio in, if you want to have a phone call, I mean, the director can call someone or the mechanic and you can have a conversation over the radio. Yes. So you cannot just ban something based on, or your Garmin. I mean, your Garmin can send a message, right, on your...
Notifications, it can be in the director's car, and then you're getting your notifications up on your Garmin. Like, it's exactly.
So, you can't base something based on the potential communication abilities it has, because, like I said, your race radio can do the same. You can listen music on it from the car. Mm-hmm. That's not enough justification to ban race radios, because it has the ability to take phone calls and all that stuff. And what I also actually found out, I think I should have been double disqualified, because just before the race, I forgot to take off I never race with my Garmin watch, actually. But you're not allowed to race with a smartwatch.
I didn't know that was a rule.
Jeez, like.
I also didn't know. So what are you going to define as a smartwatch? Anything that has a communication, because if your phone's connected, it has... So in theory, your watch is also it's a smartwatch, so you're not allowed to race with it.
Willie's read all the rules now.
But then maybe you should have stayed in the race then, because you were disqualified for the glasses, and then you should have been disqualified for that. So it should have cancelled the disqualification out, and then you should have been fine to continue. Drink your smoothie there, protein shake.
Okay, Willie, let's move on to the next one. Tell us a bit about your race, the stage win. This is your second pro win, if you count. It's your first international pro win. The first pro win was African Champs, right? So this is your first pro win, if I'm not mistaken. Am I correct?
I'm just going to interrupt. Willie has won races that are like 0.2. So, UCI races around, China, Turkey. Not because I'm a fan, just because you sent it to me, just to remind me. But yeah, exactly, I do. I get spammed with it, and I'm just like, oh, what has he done now? Throw my phone away.
But this is the only one that qualifies as a pro win, right?
Yeah.
What is your take on that? It's been a long time coming.
Congrats, man.
Well done. Almost on the podium as well in the GC. So, what are your thoughts around that race and the result?
How did it pan out?
Funny enough that if I was younger, I would have raved about it. Now it's about the money. Let's be honest. So it's like I won. Okay, salary increase. I won bonus. I won, because also funny enough, I don't know. Sorry, it sounds bad, but it's you enjoy it, and then you have a good. Yeah, you have a good beer about it, but also at my age, it's if it was a youngster, then the whole team is like really happy, and that your age people is just happy because you got something.
Yeah. They feel sorry for you, so they're just like, oh, good, you know.
I feel sorry. I was like, fuck, finally. But also, funny enough, like on the Asian tour, like just the stage when is 100,000 rand, like there, and then like a hotspot is like 20,000 rand, like. So yeah, I mean, we each made about close to 10K just in a small tour like that. So it's really you can build a future with that type of racing. And this is also why I sometimes come back to the question is Europe is not what it was to race. I mean, when you look at Tour of Portugal, you have to ask yourself at what point, what are you doing? If you love bike racing, perhaps consider going to the Asian market and still enjoying it, but making real money, which you can look after your family and friends and your future. Anyway, but yeah, to come back to that, we are basically just working for Connie Chef because the day before he lost the yellow jersey, big crash, and he couldn't contest the sprint, so he lost the jersey on a bonus second. Yeah, and then the last day we just we made it hard on the climb, dropped some of the top sprinters. And close to the 7K to go, he just asked me to keep it together, to control. Of course, I didn't. No.
Sounds like typical
Bringing
Willie.
back memories.
Europe Car Cup days.
No, so yeah, then just 7K to go. I was just literally with Caicedo, the guy that just won King Eye Lake.
Did he ride for EF or Cannondale? Or...
Yeah, he rode.
Yes, I remember him.
Like this massive chest on him.
Quite a short guy. He's from Ecuador or some South American country, no?
Yeah, Colombia or Ecuador. I'm not sure which one, but like he's got this massive, like, okay, it's high altitude racing there, 3,000 meters above sea level in King Eye, but he's got this massive chest on him, and I think it's just lungs, just this massive lungs in there, because he was destroying the people there. It was really on another level.
So you and him were looking after Konashev, keeping it together, and you smelled an opportunity.
No. So I just followed. So me and Casado were just controlling because they were also pulling for Peter Rekenhoff. One of the guys that was third, he also needed seconds. And just as I was closing one guy from the front, someone left a gap from the back. And funny enough, like 1K to go, I look around and it was, 1.5Ks to go. I looked around, it was Callum coming across.
Oh, of course.
And but I knew that, the lighties, they're always more desperate than you. So I just made him do a longer pull. And immediately after the corner, but then we only had less than a 2-second gap with 900 to go. But they were really, really unorganized behind. I just went off of that. And yeah, it was a good one.
See you in the douches.
But people ask me, did you win the bunch sprint? I said, yeah, of course.
Yeah, you just kicked that much into the peloton.
It counts as a bunch sprint. We're all basically together there.
Same time.
In your books, does it count as a bunch sprint?
100%. That's a bunch sprint. 100%. You won. You just started your sprint early.
Yeah.
You did the same what I did at Cape Town Cycle Tour. Also, I had Callum there, doing the Lord's work for me, and then just had to capitalize on that.
Exactly. Callum is a great teammate.
Great. Did you share some of your prize money or your bonus with him?
I sent him a screenshot of it.
Well, that's fair enough.
Yeah, shame. No, but it's funny enough because I've always had a nice advantage over a lot of other. It can be genetics, many things, but at high altitudes, your peak power output doesn't have to be that high. So let's say, for example, I had to race you and Kent at sea level. It would, for me, be absolutely terrible because it would be more based on peak power output, not so much efficiency. As well as at altitude, I've always had, even without doing altitude camp, I've always been, because before I've been top 5 in King Eye Lake, and then you have like a couple of World Tour team and Pro Conti teams there. And it seems I have a little bit of an edge, but it's just based on efficiency. But like when I have to race against Kent at sea level, just pure peak power output with a lot of oxygen, for me, it's absolutely terrible. You know, I can't produce the powers that these guys do.
And it's also super strong, you know, so you're only human at the end of the day. You know, it is hard to push the same kind of numbers as Ken Main.
But also then small stuff like if you're slightly overweight, watts per kilo starts to matter more and all of that stuff at sea level. But yeah, so like even the last 45 seconds of that I did like which is at 4,000 meters above sea level, I did 800 watts.
Wow.
So on there, but on flat at 60k an hour, it's quite a lot. So that is enough to win. Yeah. But then the efforts you have to make against the youngsters nowadays at sea level, you know, way above 6 watts a kilo. I can't do that. I could never do that. Yeah.
Still, proper numbers there, impressive numbers there for 4,000 meters above sea level. I mean, I don't think I could walk upstairs at 4,000 meters above sea level, let alone do 800 watts for a minute.
That's why I'm crying that the Nationals now is in George, right? Do you guys know the route or what?
I just heard that it's actually quite hard, lots of climbing. Apparently not super long, but like 3,500 meters climbing.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure where.
80k or shorter?
It's shorter, I think like 150. So apparently it's a circuit. I'm not sure what that means. That is also from our friend Gavin, who's a pilot, so could be very wrong.
So you guys gonna target that or?
Depends if you're coming or not.
I'm not going to share my secrets. I've retired once already. I think after I've won the Ride Joburg this year and got my Triple Crown, then I'm done.
Look, I'm quite analytical, and when I heard about George, I thought, okay, just set Ryan's wheel like in Swellendam 2021, make him do all the work. But then I knew if I just set Ryan's wheel and we've got like fucking Byron Moonton going solo, then we have problems.
Yeah, big problems.
And also the same for Stefan. I mean, I only see him at Nationals once a year and then he disappears, but then normally he's quite fast.
I think it's I don't know if it's a South African trait, but these guys, when it comes to Nationals, flying, best form of the year, they go to race in Europe and they're like half the level that they are at Nationals. Nationals is the hardest race of the year, hands down.
We're going to have to get Byron and Stefan on the podcast now.
For the bot to defend himself on, yeah.
Okay, Willie, last question. I don't want to run you too late. What was your best memory from racing alongside Ryan while you were teammates? Do you have any good memories to share?
Absolutely. I think the funny part always is Ryan was still not as professional as he later went on to be, or as strict. Like he would still let's say look deep into the bottle after the races on a weekend, and I think that probably took his edge away. And I would probably go back and diet and just celebrate the victory. But how it always turned out was Ryan wanted to sprint. He was obviously the fastest and I would just make sure I attack first so that he's not allowed to chase me. So
you did that a few times. I remember, I will not forget, there was one race in particular, I think it was the Oyster Festival in Knysna or something, and we had a discussion with like 10 Ks to go. We said, everyone's tried, we're going to have a sprint now. And then you attack with Harbia with like 2 Ks to go. And did he win the race?
I can't even remember if you won.
No, I didn't win because you stayed away.
I think Harbia won. I think you guys stayed away, and I think Harbia sprinted you. I might be mistaken.
I remember.
Well, he would have. Yeah, but he's also one of my mates.
Yeah, just on another team. But I remember having a nice chat with you on the school sports field, where I put my bike down nicely and I told you what I thought about you and how strongly I feel those things about you. And we were best mates a week later.
I missed the part where Nick said this is, the annex of the contract where he says this additional 20k is to work for your teammates.
We're getting paid. One thing I must just say, Willie, is that, when we were teammates, you were probably the most successful rider racing in South Africa there. You won all the big tours, the Clover Tour and Mpumalanga Tour, all of that. you were always professional. I think from going over to Europe at a young age, you were dialed and you knew when you needed to be serious, and you measured how many grams, like before anyone knew how many grams of carbs to have, you had it all dialed. So you were quite an inspiration there, and I must just take my hat off to you, because you've set the trend, and even now, it's 15 years where you've been on it, good when you need to be good, you focus, you work well, you train well, you play to your strengths, and I must say congrats to you on your career thus far. Don't hang the wheels up just yet.
No, thanks, but I think it was just because you guys were genetically better, really. So.
Sorry, what was that? I didn't hear you.
Yeah, but also I think there was a big part where you also just have to be honest with yourself as a rider. I never ever actually in my initial years, I think 2011 to 2015, ever trained for nationals. I felt that if I had to skip, seasonally, we're all different, but I felt like we have a circadian rhythm where we all really good certain parts of the year, and some parts of the year, regardless of what I do, I'm just always not going well that type of year. But I felt if I had to skip the off season just to train hard for nationals, I wouldn't be good in all the other tours later on and lose motivation. So yeah, it was smaller races that I focused on, but I felt that that's what I can do well on. And looking back, maybe it's a loser mindset where you say, well, I'm not going to train for nationals, because even if I make it to the line back then with Robbie Hunter or Daryl Impey or Louis, then you anyway lose. Okay, maybe that's a loser mindset. But I just felt use that for training and focus on what you are good at. And that has worked for Europe, where we all experimented with that, where we say, okay, I lost too much weight at one point, and then I tried to be climbing well, sprinting well, TTing well. That's a recipe for disaster. Luckily, I only tried that for 1 year. But if you're just honest with yourself and only try to do what you are good at, probably it will end better. Yeah.
I think a lot of youngsters can learn from that. That shows maturity. It shows a lot of self-awareness. And like you say, I think from a young age, you know, if you're a genetic freak and if you're going to be the next Poggy, you're going to know by 20 years old. And if that's not the case for you, play to your strengths, and you've made an amazing career. You've made money out of this just by being smart. And I'd never tell this to you if it's your face. So it feels like through the camera, it doesn't really count like I'm giving you a compliment. But it's a little compliment.
Oh, gosh.
I wanted to get some revenge now by pushing you at DC this year, skipping my whole off season just to prove a point. But now you won't be there, so I think I'll have to fly back up the next day and just sort out that dispute we all had.
So you're DC and then 947 the next day.
So Marcello told me that some of the guy Callum and Tiano. Do you know the story of Tiano de Silva? Or is it Tiano Kleinhans or De Silva Kleinhans? Do you know it or not?
No, what's the story?
I went to a race last year in China and I was like, here's a guy in the top 10, Jose Kleinhans. I'm like, but he's not in the race. So Tiano de Silva was racing under his
name. And what, the team didn't know, or like what? How did that happen?
It happened for a couple of races.
Unbelievable.
Nothing about. I think the owner was too lazy to change the name. So it's like 2.1 races,
Unbelievable.
Yeah, there's like pro Conti teams on the starters, and Jose Kleinsmith is top 10. I was like,
Jose. I'm only figured out he's talking about Jose.
Yeah, Jose.
Okay, shit.
So that's why we started calling him Jose da Silva or Tiano Kleinsmith.
Real, okay. Tiano's. So him and Callum are doing that, then coming up the next day. Just join them, man. Get on the same flight as them and come and race us.
But I know it. My ego won't take it. Like if I do nothing, I won't hear the end of it until the next 94.7.
You'll never hear the end of it, Willie. You'll never hear the end of it. If you race and are useless, we're going to nail you. If you don't race, we're going to nail you. If you race and you're good, we're still going to find a reason to nail you.
But would you guys say the 94.7 route is easier this year because it's where does it start on the track? or not?
It just shifts the route. So you start with all the climbs now. Like it's all in the beginning, then the second half is flat and fast. So I think it should split up pretty early.
Easier, right?
I think so. It's perfect for you though, because then, you can just hang on and then just suck wheel, like you normally do.
Yeah.
But
I think even if I suck wheel, I'm still not going to win a sprint in my lifetime. So.
Well, you just won a sprint.
But I've been researching you a lot lately, Ryan, and I've seen like you always first to brake in a corner. Like Kent, I know will crash in any left hand, so he'll crash and you will brake.
Yeah.
And I'll just cut on the inside and it's over.
Sure, that's fighting words, hey? You're lucky you're on that side of the camera.
It doesn't repeat itself, but it normally does, unfortunately. So.
Well, you know what? I'm a nice guy, and but it's a good thing. It's a good point you raise, and I know you're referring to Ryan Joburg from last year, but I've got to that point, and you'd probably agree with me. We get to a point where you get a bit older, you're a bit more wiser, and you think to yourself, you know what it's like to crash. We've had horrible crashes. You've had terrible crashes with your hip and your legs and everything else. And you think, is it worth it? Yes, winning Ryan Joburg's cool, but we've both done that. Been there, done that. It was easy. I'm not willing to get, scratch my new shoes and maybe like get a scab on my knee, and maybe crash on the final corner.
Yeah, and there's always, a lot of attention on you when you get that paycheck from SARS. And I know everyone pays their taxes. So.
It also wasn't worth it, because if I crashed there, I might have had to have stitches. I probably wouldn't have been able to go out that Sunday night where I was able to at second place. So, bigger picture.
No, but that's so true. They even know. Okay, maybe I don't know $1 million or something, but it's psychologically it plays with you where like I'm not taking this risk unless something in that race truly makes me believe it's worth it. Yes. But yeah, it's and then it's hard to be honest with yourself why you're not willing to take those risks, because on the one spectrum you have to say I'm scared, or on the other side you have to admit it's not worth it. But then if you admit it's not worth it, then you ask yourself, well, what am I doing there? So it's it also plays games with you. But it's like I say, as you get older, it's a beautiful journey because you start to get to know yourself and you have to answer hard truths. But I think I look forward to maybe then seeing you guys at 94. Maybe I'll fly up with Callum Dem and Tiano, and but I'm not taking a pool with you guys. I'll just make that clear.
But that nothing's changed.
But sometimes we've seen at nationals like J. Robert Thompson paces 150Ks for no reason. Stuff like that happens.
So Willie, I'll tell you what. If you come to Ryan Joburg and you cooperate with Kent and myself, who knows? Maybe you get lucky and win the lottery that night, or maybe when you get back to your car, there's an envelope in there. I don't know. This happens all the time.
You'll just have to stay the next week to join us on our envelope ride.
I have to come say hello to you, G. Maybe he doesn't want to see me, but I'll just pitch up anyway.
I'll ask for your envelope.
Thanks, Brad. Okay, Willie, well, I don't want to take any more of your time. Thanks very much. Appreciate it. I think this is cool. Hopefully everything works. There's a chance that we end this call and nothing's saved and then it's a big stuff up. But if not, I'll tag you in the post.
Okay, no, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, guys.